this is a video about our story. So, we didn't really discuss this video before we are sitting here now. So we didn't like synchronize our story or even discuss our plan, or we haven't really talked about our own story in quite a long time. So,
yeah, so let's see if we can still remember
how we got here.
Yeah, how we got here.
Yeah.
Since Dominic is the reason why we met each other, so it should be he's the one who gonna start.
You think I start?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, I think it's very obvious where this story begins. It begins with my birthday, actually. So my buddy Christian and Kevin wanted to celebrate my birthday, but they also were both leaving the country for a while on their own excursions. And so we decided to plan a trip. And that trip happened to be a cruise, which is my first time ever doing a cruise. And that cruise that we ended up going on ends up being the ship that this girl actually works at, right? So that is kind of what led us up to the first meeting. Yeah. So we just going on vacation on a cruise ship, Norwegian Cruise Line, right?
It's a Norwegian Sky ship, because in the Norwegian Cruise Line they have a lot of ships. So I was working on Norwegian Sky, which is the smallest ship among the fleet.
Why'd I choose that one?
I don't know. Since Dominic was cruising just for 3 days, and I met him for the last night of his cruise. In the next morning, we gonna arrive at Miami, so he needs to disembark ship. So since that his birthday on the next day, so they are decided to have a dinner. But before that, by the way, I was working in the Nakahanap steakhouse. So it's a fine dining. So at that time, we are not busy. So my supervisor sent me into a buffet.
Right, yeah.
Because of course, a lot of passengers, they just like self-service. They don't want fine dining that time. So I was
included in the price.
That time, I was working a washi-washi. So washi-washi, guys.
Yeah, explain what that is.
Yeah. So washi-washi is like washi-washi, happy, smiley, smiley. I was standing by the door, and then all the guests coming on the buffet. So I was just greeting them and saying, "Hey guys, good evening, washi-washi," something like that. So that's a greeting, at the same time sanitizing their hands before they getting food.
Yeah, and I can film a little bit here. Okay. So up to this point, so like she said, my birthday is the next day. It's the evening of the 10th, my last night on the cruise, and you work in the steakhouse. And for my birthday, we just wanted to celebrate something a little more fine dining instead of going to just the regular dining hall. So we booked a reservation at the steakhouse, and I don't know where we were coming from, honestly. It was
from the pool.
It was just me and Christian. I don't know where Kevin was. It was just me and Christian, and we were walking back to our room to get change. Right? You wear like an actual polo, so you look somewhat decent going into the steakhouse.
Formal.
And so we had to walk through the dining hall to go get change. Our reservation's at 8:30 or something like that. So we're kind of short on time at this point. So I gotta go change. So we gotta walk through the hall, the dining hall, and then there's this girl who says washi washi. I'm like, no, it's fine. I'm not eating here.
Yeah, guys, it's so funny because he don't want me to spray his hands.
Because I wasn't gonna eat. So I was like, I'm just walking through. You don't gotta clean me. I'm fine.
Yeah, but of course.
This is before COVID.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's my job, and he don't want to get sprayed. So I was like, washi-washi.
Oh, no.
And Dominic said, no.
Yeah, but we ended up talking, because she was so friendly.
I like talking.
With a big old smile on, and then, but I was still in a rush. So honestly, I don't think you and I talked much then. I kind of said, hi, no, it's okay. I don't need to wash. And then...
And you're a shy type that time.
I wasn't shy. I was in a rush.
Duh.
So you said I was shy. Yeah. So that was our first meeting, right?
Yeah.
It's just
he's ignoring me. He don't want me to wash his hands.
I know. I wasn't dirty. It was fine.
So they left, going to their room.
We were like, I'm gonna marry that man.
And yeah, they left to their room, and then they come to change But I don't know that they have a dinner in Cagnis. They never told me.
Right, we had no idea, because you're working in some other place.
Yeah.
And you work upstairs in this dining hall, which is where we happen to be going next.
Yeah,
right?
and then my supervisor called me. When I come up there, this guy...
Was I already there?
Yeah, you were already there. When I was entering that Cagnis or the restaurant door, and Dominic, you know, like standing on the table and then yelling that, hey!
It's not standing on the table. What are you talking about? I don't know what came over me. Definitely very unlike me. But I saw her walk in. I think I've been talking about you. Even like for whatever reason, you just kind of stuck in my mind. Even though I was like just in a rush. I think I was talking about you to Kevin. Because Kevin hadn't met her yet.
Okay.
And she was just a washy-washy girl downstairs.
Yeah.
But yeah, you walked in and I had seen her across the restaurant. For whatever reason, I kind of just yelled across the restaurant.
Yeah.
Hey, here.
It's like, oh, what is this?
I know.
It's a fine dining and he's like shouting, hey, here it is.
I guess. I couldn't. I thought it really was it yelling. Yeah.
I feel like you're shouting and I feel like you stand and then yelling and then you're
Not
like,
on the table.
hey,
I was just,
I just say hi to them and then
after I called you over.
yeah, I come back to their table.
I introduced
and
you to Kevin.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Again, that's a weird thing to do. Like I hardly know you. This is Kevin, my friend, and this is her Jean. Or
Like,
do I even know your name? Then I don't even know. I don't think so. Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, that was very unlike me just to like call over a random girl.
Yeah. That's love, baby.
Is that what that was? Yeah.
Because you do something that you don't usually do.
Maybe, yeah. Well, at some point, I had called, again, weird dude, me, for whatever reason, I called her over. Well, later on, we ended up talking again.
Yeah.
You were at our table, and I asked to take a picture with you, I think. I may have had too many drinks at this point.
This is the picture that Dominic took
at this moment.
At that moment,
it was me, Kevin, and you.
Yeah.
And that's actually when I was asking about your name tag, and she made sure I knew her real last name. I took a picture of her name badge, and she said, well, you know, that's not my real last name. So she was making sure I knew how to look her up if I needed to, I think.
Yeah. So just to make sure.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know, guys.
Yeah. After dinner's over, me and Kevin are leaving the main doorway. We're going down the staircase, and then Hair Jean comes running out of the restaurant saying, what was your last name again?
Hey, excuse me.
This is my side of it. Yeah. And yeah, she goes, what was your last name again? And then I just kind of stood and stared at her, and Kevin's like, it's Bailey, like Bailey's the drink, just without the S.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't he like, yeah, because I didn't say anything. I just kind of stared. And
Yeah, just looking at me.
I think you just said thanks and you walked away, right?
Yeah. Actually, I don't like him. He's not
really?
my type. I told myself that I never get married with a foreigner. I just want only Filipino. That's what I was saying.
So originally she had no interest in me apparently.
Yeah.
So I thought she ran out of the restaurant showing that she was interested. Me being weird again though,
Yeah.
you want me to really say this?
Tell them.
I think on the flight back, I'd already looked her up on Facebook and I found her right before we took off. And it was when we landed back in.
Guys, you look for me in Facebook right away.
Yeah, I did before we took off, right? And then once we landed and I got back in my apartment, I think I messaged you on Facebook. I think it was that next night. Yeah, which is like me totally not playing hard to get. Immediately,
yeah,
hey.
like message me like, hey, this is Dominic, how are you?
I think I said something like, you were a great waitress. I really appreciate,
It's like a compliment.
Yeah, I think I was being more formal than anything.
Yeah.
But to make it really uncomfortable for me, she posted it on Facebook and tagged me. You posted my message to you on Facebook.
Next day, we are in Key West.
That's right.
And we're eating in the Asian restaurant, and then I saw him online, so I was calling him in the messenger.
She video calls me, which at this point I don't video call people. I think that was like totally out of my comfort zone, especially with a girl I only saw,
Once.
for one day.
Why you pick up my call?
You're attractive. Never in my life have I done a long distance relationship. Never in my life have I said that they were even a good idea. In fact, I've always told people, hey, don't do the long distance relationship. they never work out.
He's always against.
Yeah, always against it. We only talked between January and March, and you told me you loved me in between there. Look at that smile. Which to me is like totally insane. I'm like, alright. You know, like that is like pretty extreme.
I think guys, it's a destiny also. I don't know. I don't have any tourist visa at that time when I met him. I went to a US embassy and then right away after I flew here in Ohio and I stayed here for 10 days.
10 days.
That time. Dominic again guys flew from
Ohio
to Florida just to meet me just for an hour again.
I had her for like 5 hours.
5 hours this time.
Yeah. So longer than it was the time before, but still. All my friends call me crazy, like, you're gonna go fly down there. The other day you like showed me around some of the, oh no, that was after the cruise.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so anyways. What are you doing?
Anyways, so after that meeting guys.
Okay, so I took the cruise, did a 5-day cruise.
He come back again to the cruise.
I flew down to Miami again, but this time I get a cruise out of it by myself, most of it.
I toured him whatever port, whichever port we are at. We have some pictures here. That's where in Bahamas, so I bring him to Atlantis.
Yep, we did paddle boarding.
Paddle boarding, which is our private island. That's my first time, by the way. So we have some pictures also here, guys, for that paddle boarding. After the cruise, guys, in the same contract, I went here to Ohio for my work break for 15 days. I spent time with him. So all this story, guys, that you're hearing right now, it's only 1 year.
That was all 1 year.
Yeah, seriously, it's just 1 year.
That was hard work though for me. I mean, just being long distance, like me and my first long distance relationship. I think we did great though. We were very willing to
understanding, especially, you know, because our time is different.
Yep.
So
time difference, and just being able to. I mean, you actually worked a weird schedule, right? Because sometimes you were off at 1.
Yeah, 1 a.m. and he's already asleep.
Yeah.
So, but we made it, guys. And then April 25th, we got married.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's our story. I got her a ring, and so she didn't seem. Yeah, she's like, "Oh, you said we weren't gonna do that."
Instead of surprise,
I'm like, "All right, is it
okay?
So
Can we do it again?
Is that a no, or is you? I think I don't know if you said yes at the end, right?
I didn't say yes. It's just automatic. You just assume.
This is the story of how we met, and that is our story about how we came to where we are now.